Guess what? New moon coming this week. New moon in Virgo. Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. This is for you. This is a message for the collective. We'll be talking about that new moon. I talked about it yesterday. I gave a full zodiac worth of information. So if you want to check out yesterday's video, here you go. Let's see what message wants to come through today. Next week, we are going to be talking about self-love versus self-care. My friend Jen Huber and I are going to give you a lot of tools to help yourself move in that arena. So we've talked a lot about what self-love is and what self-care is in our heart healing group. And if you want to jump on to that heart healing group, there's a link in the description box below. The self-love versus self-care is going to be a full-on class. We're going to give you a ton of tools. So there's a link in the description box as well. All right, let's see where we're going today. We do have heart healing today. We're going to talk about surrender. And what does that mean? Okay, when we are so tightly wound about something going on in our life, what does it mean to surrender, release, and let go? So check that out today in Heart Healing. If you're part of that group, it is growing fast. So I just want to say welcome in to anybody who's new. Welcome in. Let's see what wants to come through today. Trust, the energy of that. Power. I saw this as I was shuffling as well. Power and release. Oh, isn't that interesting? So a little bit of standing in one's power and letting go of anything that isn't really supporting you. I feel like trust is about some of the things we've talked about, the conversations we've had about trust in the past. You're not learning to trust other people. You're learning to trust yourself so that you don't allow people to come toward you who are not up to any good, all right, or not aligned with where you want to go. And I feel like that is about taking back your power. Okay, so we are really releasing something here. The new moon is about welcoming in. So for the past week and a half, we have done this releasing. That's why we're doing this session this afternoon. We're really going to be talking about letting anything go so that when you manifest in this new moon in Virgo, you've got space for it. Okay, you've got real space for it. I'm going to use this mermaid deck. I am posting a mid-month reading for each zodiac sign this week. It is very heavily astrological information, very heavily into the astrology for each zodiac sign. I recommend you watch your rising sign. Okay, so watch the sign on the horizon when you were born. It's called an ascendant or a rising sign. And I always talk about things that are sun, moon, rising, and Venus. But I really want you to focus these readings this week and watch your rising sign. That's probably the most pertinent because I am talking about where the transits are happening in the world, in the universe. Where are they hitting your chart? And it's most apropos for your rising sign. Okay? All right, let's see where we go today. What wants to come through for all of us? Messages to the collective, please. What wants to come through today? Underneath is this Nine of Swords. Are some of you still having trouble sleeping? I feel like we got rid of that when Venus went direct. But then the next day, Jupiter went into retrograde and like right back in the soup. Okay, a little bit. So Queen of Cups. There's this moon energy. Cancerian energy there. Libra. Justice. We're almost in Libra time. The Seven of Swords, the Knight of Cups, and the Taurus energy of this. Wow. Okay. High Priestess. I'll take that. So this basically says to me that you are really ferreting out people who are not being honest with you. Like you might know it in your heart, and that's why some of you are having trouble sleeping. Like you know something in your heart is not right, or you know something that needs to be said or something like that. That could be a reason for waking up in the middle of the night. There's some messages and information that is trying to come through. When you're taking back your power, it's not always, well, most of the time it's not going to be super comfortable. You're taking back your power. So someone has tried to usurp your power or squash you or make you small or something like that. So there is something coming through in a dream state. Okay, we are having this energy before the full moon at the end of the month in Libra, right? Before the full moon, the new moon here, or sorry, the full moon in Aries, sorry, not Libra. The new moon is in Virgo, and that's about details, right? And it's definitely about details. And that can be a really strong thought process. But this is really about what's going on in your heart, Queen of Cups. And this could be a relationship of some kind, doesn't have to be a love relationship. But I feel like I feel like you're starting to figure something out. And I am famous for going through a relationship, there's a breakup, and like 2 years later, I have these aha moments about it. And I'll give you an example of that. I was watching the really good documentary Ken Burns made about Hemingway, about Ernest Hemingway. And I was traveling with a boyfriend. This was a long time ago. And we stayed, as you know, Key West is very, that's where Hemingway lived and hung out and did a lot of drinking and all kinds of stuff. And there's a place down there called Papa's Hideaway. And we stayed at that place. And within about 6 months, I left this particular boyfriend, and I realized after I left that he had another girlfriend long before I even made the decision to go. But he was being so obnoxious on this trip that I was just like, oh my God. So I left that boyfriend. And then watching this documentary on Hemingway, so many of those patterns were in this documentary about how he would always have a partner before he left the previous one. He always had the next person lined up. And it was ironic that we stayed at Papa's Hideaway, but I think it was one of those like, hey, this is a little synchronicity. You recognize that this is the same pattern, okay? Like pay attention to what's going on. It's the same as, so I'm watching this documentary, I'm going, oh my gosh, like so many of the things that Hemingway did, even though my boyfriend probably has never read any Hemingway, wasn't really interested in any of that. But there was some kind of energetic symmetry. And so I feel like you're getting messages from the universe in kind of a similar way that is going to help you trust yourself. So pay attention to what you're watching or what's showing up for you in terms of symmetry of energy. So if you're having, they may not look like they're connected at all, right? You may not really get the sense that they're connected. This is why being present in the moment is going to be super important. You're getting some messages about either a Taurus or a Cancerian person, or a Libra. You're getting some kind of messages that this person is either lying or cheating or doing something. Some messages trying to come through to you. So it doesn't have to be a negative one. It can be that this person is in a bad situation and they're trying to reach out to you telepathically. I had a lot of drive last night to connect with a Cancerian I know who is going through some difficult things. And I just kind of see that storyline here, maybe going through a divorce or something like that. I don't know. She's a friend from college and stuff like that, so I don't know. But like, I definitely felt that there was some kind of Taurus person involved. There's some kind of third party stuff involved. And I feel like the full moon, by the end of this month, there will be a light shown on that. And so all I was getting information coming through that was like, reach out telepathically, send love to this person, send protection to this person. And so I was like, okay, so like I'm doing it. And it's waking me up in the middle of the night. There's definitely some things going on that I don't know about. Haven't spoken to her in a while. So there's definitely some things going on, and I don't really know what's going on, but you can bet she's on my list to call. But I was just like getting this real strong energy of like, that person needs your help or your love or your support or something like that. So you may be getting some things in the middle of the night. Maybe somebody in your life that's kind of, I don't know, like maybe peripheral, or somebody who was in your life a long time ago and now they're showing up and you're like, why did that show up all of a sudden? Why am I getting this kind of sync about, in a TV show or a book or a billboard or a song or something like that? Why am I getting that? You're getting that because you're starting to trust your own intuition, and it's a good way to kind of like get yourself more grounded and pay attention to the things that are coming across your path in terms of messages. So I definitely got this loud energy of, please send this person love in telepathy, or send, just energetically send this person love. So, okay, doing it, totally doing it, right? And there is something here also about people who might seek to dominate, this is also a possibility that sometimes a really good way to diffuse a situation is, even especially if there's someone who you consider an enemy, okay? Someone who's trying to dominate you or something like that. Trust that what you need, what would be really helpful is to send that person love, because that energy of love, one of two things, they'll either run away from it, they're not syncing with that with you, like that's not part of it, or it's going to soften. I feel like it softens the edges of relationships that are frayed or difficult, especially family members or people that you know aren't necessarily really cutting loose, but I think you could be cutting them loose soon. So Hanged Man, Eight of Pentacles, the Six of Cups, the Four of Wands, the Emperor. Oh yeah, Four of Wands, Emperor, Nine of Pentacles. I almost feel like this is, okay, so sometimes I'm really getting that this is a person that you know. I'm not really getting that this is you. Now, some of you may align with this, that you're going through a rough time. You need someone to send you some power, some support, whatever it is. You need something like that. I'm getting that some of you are the ones who are sending the support, okay? The energetic love and whatever. And that's going to really empower this person. So I feel like it's a good thing to do. The Ace of Cups, Tower. Yes, Six of Pentacles. This is really going to help this person. I like the Six of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles here. And I feel like this person suddenly shows up to you, or this situation suddenly shows up to you. Now, there may be a kind of like a sliding doors kind of feeling, like this is a situation, you're sending love, the universe is sending love back in the guise of a different situation. Okay, this is a little complex, and this is a little bit spiritual synchronicities are going on right now that are really important to who's ever watching this video. So I'm a messenger here to say, I want you to get grounded. I want you to get really in your awareness. Try to be as present as possible. Try to be as present as possible, because I feel that suddenly things are going to change. And they're going to change because you're energetically interacting with people who are on your plane, or people who are in your level of consciousness. And sending love and being a beacon for love is something that is going to bring love back to you. So whether this is connected to this or not, there's synchronicities coming through your life right now that are going to tell you more about this. So heads up, okay? That it's also going to enliven and sort of support your trust of yourself, of like, wow, I was watching this movie and the situation reminded me of a friend of mine who's going through a divorce, or a friend of mine who I, knew a long time ago. You get this person coming across the transom of your mind. You're like, I need to reach out to them. Do it. Please do it. Okay. There's definitely something big going on. And I also feel like there's something big coming in. So when you're really trusting yourself, that's power. Okay. So you are taking your power back in a loving, energetic way, meaning that you are a conduit for power. You are expressing power, and you are not allowing anyone to dominate anymore. So there's definitely a sense of a release for you, or a relief, or a letting go, a surrender. This is the energy of surrender that we're talking about today, the energy of surrender. So it's a very important piece of the puzzle. The Tower down here, I'm gonna clarify this. All right, let me clarify this Tower. What is this Tower about? Oh, Devil energy, Three of Wands, 10 of Cups, and the Eight of Wands. So I definitely am feeling like you are manifesting your happiness. What's got to get out of the way is any kind of toxicity, any kind of relationship that is holding you back. Now, that may not have anything to do with this, but it does have to do with somebody or something that you are definitely not wanting to continue on with, right? It's sapping your power. It's sapping, and releasing is the next thing to do. Okay. So let's continue on with this reading. I'm going to go deeper, and we'll see what this Eight of Wands is about. I feel like that's the manifestation. All right, my loves, link is in the description box. Let's go. All right, I hope you enjoyed that video. If it was helpful to you, please consider liking this video and sharing it with anybody who might have a need for similar kind of information. And if you like this video, check out these videos.